Welcome back to the Tool World Podcast. Happy holidays. We're coming with you guys at a special podcast here, something we wanted to talk about.
Well, happy holidays, Mr. Jew.
Happy holidays. All right, so you had a specific topic, and I think this has been it's been coming up here.
Right.
Heard some rumors, and have you seen an official statement on this yet, or is this all just speculation?
I personally have not seen a statement. I think I've seen some posts about, so this is more of a serious topic, and it's about the issue with the changing of the name Tong-Il by a group in Vienna, which represents the North Korean.
Right, so they want to change the name from Tong-Il to Chong-Han, supposedly.
Correct. I think it's up for their, whatever you call it, their
discretion or
their
voting or
their voting. Yeah. What do you call that? Congress.
There you go. Okay, good. That sounds a little too official for an organization, though. But okay. Yeah. So I think right now a lot of it is going to be speculation. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it has. I'm not too sure.
Right.
But let's go over. Why is this such a big impact, or would this be the right change in Taekwondo?
Well, I have to tell you that I don't think it's a huge mistake because really Taekwondo, as General Che had developed it, if you look at his work, it's quite amazing. It goes down to the very details of all of the patterns, the definitions of the patterns, and the techniques. And I would have to say that there may be some different interpretation, but when you're making a change like that, that means you're changing his work, right? And who has that authority to do that? I think if there was anyone that would have the authority, it would have to be the Che family. And as a matter of fact, I have spoken to President Che as well, Jasmine Che, and they have not authorized this kind of a change. They weren't even approached that they were thinking about this kind of a change. And so I don't think it's right. It's kind of like, like music. Who's the creator of the music? If the Beatles wrote a song. And you actually see that. They take melodies and they kind of change it and they claim it to be theirs or a new song or whatever. And sometimes musicians sue them because, their copyrights or whatever. And so I kind of think it's kind of that way. You have to have authority. I mean, even today, I think in music anyway, you have to get authorization if you're going to sample some of their music. And they have to have the blessing of the creator. Is Taekwondo for everyone? Yes, it's for everyone. That's kind of what I'm saying.
Right. I think one of the things is that Taekwondo is not just about techniques. I mean, you have karate, and it's similar techniques. You have Muay Thai. Okay, yeah, maybe not the same, but it's going to be pretty similar. But when you look at Taekwondo, what it comes down to is the philosophy of General Che, right? And so that was one of the big reasons that Taekwondo is created, is not just because of the techniques and the skills that's in it, but the philosophies that come with it. So when you're looking at martial arts, why would you choose karate versus Taekwondo in the traditional sense? Is maybe because you resonate more with the philosophy, or you're learning about that moral culture, right? And then compared to other martial arts, right? And that might distinguish us as well from things like MMA or
absolutely,
or just fighting as well. Is that moral philosophy that comes with the Taekwondo?
Yeah, it's kind of weird in a way because what is the meaning of Tong-Il?
Well, Tong-Il is about the unification of Korea.
North and South Korea.
And that's
kind of like what General Che was hoping to see happen, the unification of North and South Korea. And here's a group that represents the North Korean, and they want to change it. I believe that Chung-Hung, which is supposed to be the pen name of General Che, you don't need to honor him because everyone knows that he is the one that created Taekwondo as we know it in the ITF.
Right.
Right? And so what are they saying? They're kind of saying, really, we don't want unification,
right,
in a way. I mean, are they changing the meaning? Then I know they want to change the name, right? I don't know.
Right.
So I don't know the whole details about that. But I do think it's not right, and it's an injustice of that. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I would also add to that too, is it also ostracizes the ITF from the WT as well. I think people in the WT, there's some that maybe acknowledge that General Che has a big role in Taekwondo, but they also, in their own history, will say that the other Kwans helped develop Taekwondo, right?
Well, no,
and obviously they did,
obviously,
right?
for
Yeah,
sure.
the other masters did,
And
right?
General Che even acknowledges a lot of that
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
So
right.
it's not like,
But you know, the WT still, you know, they acknowledge all pieces of it, and General Che is part of that.
Oh, yeah,
right?
for sure.
And so, you know, by changing the name, I could see it where, you know, they now say, well, now you're really naming it in the ITF about him as the founder.
but you don't need to do that.
You don't need to do that.
You don't
right?
need to do that.
Because I think
Everyone
Taekwondo.
knows.
Yeah, everything Taekwondo.
If
should
you
be
have the
more.
encyclopedia, everyone knows. I mean, there's a lots of reference in the encyclopedia about General Che. Not even within the pattern, right? I mean, Hwarang is named after the 29th Infantry, which is General Che's division.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a subtle, but still, if you look at those kind of information, if you study a little bit more, you don't need to really do that. And it's his work, changing it. I think that's the problem. That's the problem I have with it.
Right.
If you want to change it, make your own or do something else. Don't call it ITF. I think, and I can't quite remember exactly if this is true or not. I believe there was an organization many years ago, and they did ITF patterns. It was a pretty large organization. And then people would say, oh, you're just ITF. And so ultimately, they changed their patterns and kind of changed things. And, you know, kind of, yeah, if you want to change something, create your own thing, I guess.
Well, the GTF also has their own patterns, right?
Do they?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe an addition.
Maybe an
But
addition.
then
Well,
again, that doesn't add into the philosophy of the 24 patterns. That we have, right? So
Absolutely. I mean, I remember General Che once said, you know, maybe someday when I'm gone, you'll have 25 patterns. Well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. And in some ways, he did create other patterns. Ju Che was a different pattern, but he explains why he brought that in. There was different techniques that he wanted that wasn't in the pattern.
right.
In any of the patterns, and he had to replace one of them, right? So I guess you want to call it, but it's not the official 24 patterns.
Right. I think preserving part of the legacy of Taekwondo is to try to stay as
True to
the book as we can, and I think that's what a lot of groups do try to do. And we all say that we try, right? But it really comes down to whatever is written in the book. I mean,
Pretty much, but you do
can-
see changes. I mean, you've seen changes in the uniform, right?
yeah.
Recognition, well, okay. I mean,
Yeah, we had to change with the times, right? But I think to preserve the legacy as best as we can, our official
Well,
source
especially
will
that.
come back to
Sure,
the book
absolutely.
and those philosophies from it.
yeah. So I think the thing that if you want to help out, make sure that the only way you can just kind of stop that is don't support those things. You know, if you didn't like it, the NFL a few years ago because of whatever beliefs you had, stop watching it. You know, stop supporting it.
All right. Well, any other final thoughts on Tong-Il?
No, I don't think
Unification.
so. But
Yeah.
it would be great that if we could all come together. That's in
Yeah.
a way
Yeah.
unification, right?
All right. So let us know your guys' thoughts on Tong-Il, the name change. And as always, have a Merry Christmas,
Happy New Year's,
and we'll see you guys in 2025.
Taekwondo.